This is a response to Anna Kasperian from The Young Turks, although this is on her own channel, so it's more directly to her. Following her video on gay people being annoyed with straight people being in gay clubs. I found her perspective on Jezabel's piece interesting and fair, and I think she had a lot of good points, and I can see her slight frustration with the perspective of someone else seeing her presence in a gay club as someone who she considers herself to be positive towards gay people and living in a gay area, and seeing her presence as a negative thing and not wanting to be seen that way and hoping that that's not the way she is seen and that gay people should not see straight people in gay clubs like that. I think I have a slightly different perspective as a gay person to what she has said. Anna does reference in a sort of oblique way the general injustice that is the fact that gay people cannot be open in their lives and don't have the freedom to express themselves. And I don't mean, singing, dancing, painting, saying isn't it wonderful to be gay. I mean the simple expression that straight people take for granted, which is being able to be physically affectionate in public, be able to approach people in public and express interest in them, ask them out on a date, or and in the context of a club to dance, or maybe something more. As much as clubs are not necessarily exclusively for that, clubs are often for going to meet people, particularly to meet people for hookup, or to at least get to meet people who you might hook up with another time. Of course, it's not a problem necessarily for straight people to be there. They shouldn't. I absolutely don't think straight people should be banned from gay clubs. I think that would be overkill as well as offensive. However, it is more than simply the fact that straight people are in gay clubs and that they might be annoying, that their behaviour might be unbecoming or whatever. It's actually that their presence devalues what a gay environment is. If you are gay, you are in a world that is by default straight. Everywhere around you is straight. All bars, clubs, restaurants, environments, dating places to go are by default, unless otherwise explicitly stated, straight. And you have very few places to go in the physical world where you can be open and you don't have to think about who it is you're approaching and worry that it's going to be a problem. You could do it in a by default straight place or an explicitly straight place. It would be at best possibly not a very productive thing to do. It would be at worst maybe even a dangerous thing to do. So that is why gay clubs exist. They exist as a space and also a useful space for gay people to go and be with each other and to meet one another. That is their point. It would be wonderful if we lived in a world where we didn't have to have that, but we don't. And the day that a guy can go up to another guy and say, like, oh, on the street and say, oh, you're hot, and do you want to go out for a date sometime? And he just sort of smiles and politely says, oh no, thank you, but I'm straight. And that's the only response that original man would have gotten. When we live in that day, great. Until then, we are going to have gay clubs. That is the only way to do it. A lot of people don't like gay clubs. That is why you've seen the explosion of the popularity of the internet, so people don't have to use them. But that is primarily their purpose, to create community. When straight people go to gay clubs, as I said, they devalue what they are. And that might seem like a harsh word to use. However, if you think about what can happen to a gay club, and it does happen in gay villages, I would give the example of Manchester in the UK, where lots of gay bars and clubs become quite popular hangouts for groups of women, typically on the whole idea of, oh, wouldn't it be nice to go out and they play good music and I don't have to deal with all these men like touching me and oh, what a relief. Um, and then the women go there and it becomes known that they go there, and then straight men start to go to gay clubs to try and hit on women who actually, believe it or not, when they're in a gay club and get hit on by a man, don't always really object to it. I used to know somebody who would that would be something he would do. He would go to gay clubs. I mean, he was also like sort of relaxed in his sexuality and was also interested in men sometimes as well. But, you know, mainly interested in women. And he would go to gay clubs to have a good time. But also, you know, the women were remarkably easy to pick up there because they were like, oh my God, I'm being hit on by a man in a gay club. Oh, I must be on fire tonight. So, you know, it doesn't even follow that, you know, straight women go to gay clubs and then are, you know, free from this risk of constant sexual attention that they don't want. So the straight men then follow the straight women to gay clubs, and then suddenly you've got this club full of straight men and straight women, or at least more of them than you would expect there to be there. And then the gay people, when they're trying to hit on what they think are going to be their preferred and available gender, suddenly find they can't, or at least that it's not actually working for them anymore. And then they stop going, and then the club is no longer a gay club. And that sort of process of straight colonization does happen, and it's no one person's fault, but it can happen. And that's why some clubs that are gay will actually take quite a firm stance on trying not to let obviously gay, straight people into them. It's not because they're discriminating, and it's not because that individual is not welcome, and it's because the process of being taken over and turned into unwittingly a mixed and then eventually a de facto straight club is not what they want. And I would also disagree with Anna that people who go to gay clubs are, of course, you know, pro-gay and welcoming to gay people, and that they should be welcome there as well, and that their presence should not be seen as a negative thing. That is simply not true. I have seen, and it's typically men, but I have seen straight individuals reacting very badly to the point of getting into fights with people when they are shown interest in that is, you know, too aggressive by their standards. And, you know, sometimes it's not even very rational response. I once witnessed a, you know, good-looking guy walking around with his top off in a gay club and then, you know, punching a guy for, like, touching his nipples. So, you know, if that can happen, and I have seen it myself, then you can hopefully understand, Anna, why some of us don't want straight people in our environments, which are supposed to be for us to feel primarily safe in. That is why they exist. It's not against anything against you personally. It's not because we don't like straight people individually or necessarily even as a whole, but it's that you have got your own places to go to. And obviously, if you live in a gay neighbourhood, primarily a gay neighbourhood, it would be totally unreasonable for you to have to drive like 5-10 miles to, you know, so that you don't go into a gay-only bar. You know, we're not dealing with like apartheid here. But at the same time, just please understand that is the rationale behind straight people not necessarily being as welcome as ideally would like to. If the overall injustice of gay people not being safe and able to express themselves wasn't there in society in general, then there wouldn't be a corresponding injustice with straight people not being as welcome as they might be in gay clubs. And hopefully both of those injustices will eventually over time melt away as attitudes change. And I agree with you that the solution is not to be negative towards the straight people who want to go to gay clubs, but it is actually to deal with the overall stigma against being gay and people being able to be who they want in society. So thank you for sharing your perspective. Hopefully this provides an additional response and counterpoint, and maybe you'll have something to say in response to it as well. And for everyone else who's watching this on my channel, this has been Illuminati Primer saying thanks for watching.